Imagine a sound we all love. The quiet rustle of protective film, the dense vacuum pop when you lift the lid of a new box, the smell of fresh plastic and electronics. You just spent $1,000. Your fingers touch the device, and for a split second, you feel satisfaction. But then, something strange happens. You pick the item up and realize it's light. Too light. The buttons press with a cheap plastic click. The screen looks exactly the same as it did 3 years ago. And inside the box, aside from the device itself, there is a void. No charger, no headphones, just a thin slip of paper and a wire. Welcome to 2026. We used to think inflation was just prices going up, but there's another, more insidious beast devouring your money right now. Economists call it shrinkflation or skimpflation, but I'll call it something simpler. This is the era of pay more, get less. Corporations have learned to sell us air wrapped in beautiful packaging. Material quality is dropping. Lifespans are artificially shortened, and features that used to be free now cost $9.99 a month. Over the next hour, we will take an inventory of your life, and I will show you 5 things that are no longer worth their money. We will learn to see the numbers marketers hide in footnotes in fine print, and if you watch until the end, you won't just save a couple of dollars, you will save thousands. And the first criminal on our list is closest to you. Most likely you are holding it in your hand right now or looking at it. It knows everything about you, but you don't even suspect how brazenly it is deceiving you. September of every year. The ritual is always the same. A man in jeans and an expensive sweater walks onto a dark stage in Cupertino. A huge screen behind him lights up with numbers. The most powerful, the fastest, the most incredible. The crowd cheers, and millions of people around the world reach for their credit cards. But let's stop this moment. Let's press pause. If you place a 2023 flagship next to a new 2025 model, you will notice one frightening thing. They look the same. They feel the same. A glass sandwich in a metal frame. Yes, the screen bezels are 0.5 millimeter thinner. Yes, the body is now aerospace-grade titanium. But has your user experience changed? Engineers call this the S-curve of innovation. At the beginning of any technology, development goes vertically up. Remember the difference between the first iPhone and the iPhone 4? That was a quantum leap. Between the 4 and the 6, another breakthrough. But now we are at the top of that letter S. We are on the plateau. Manufacturers are trying to sell you numbers. The processor is 15% faster. Screen brightness is 200 nits higher. But your eye doesn't see those nits when you're reading email. Your finger doesn't feel those nanoseconds when you're scrolling through a feed. The reality is, the processing power from 3 years ago is still more than enough for 99% of tasks. The only battlefield left is the camera. And this is where the biggest manipulation happens. They show you shots by professional photographers taken with perfect studio lighting. Look at the detail in the shadows, they scream. But do a blind test. Take a picture of your cat on the couch with a phone that is 3 years old and with a phone costing $1,500 that came out yesterday. Post them on social media. Compression algorithms will turn both shots into the same mush. You are paying $1,000 for a difference that only an algorithm can see. And here we come to the industry's dirty secret. This is what they don't talk about from the stage. The problem isn't that technology has run out. The problem is that they are drip-feeding it to us. In the labs of tech giants, there are already prototypes of what we will see in 2030. Batteries that last a week, screens that are impossible to break. But if they give you that today, what will they sell you tomorrow? This is the strategy of planned obsolescence, raised to an absolute. Now they limit you not with hardware, but with software. New AI features in 2026 miraculously only work on the very latest chip. Even though enthusiast tests show the old processor could have handled it easily. This is an artificial barrier. It is a tax on novelty. Buying a flagship every year is no longer an investment in technology. It is a membership fee to a club that has stopped offering privileges. The math is simple. By updating your phone once every 4 years, you save over $3,000. That is the cost of a great vacation or a used car. But we keep buying. Why? Because the phone has become part of our status. We put it on the table in a cafe, logo up, to show, I'm doing well, I am successful. And this brings us to the second thing that in 2026 has lost all meaning. Previously, a logo on your chest spoke of your belonging to the elite. Today, it screams something completely different. Walk down the most expensive street in New York, London, or Dubai in 2026. Look at the crowd. You will see two types of people. The first type is wearing a hoodie with huge letters across the chest. Their sneakers glow with neon monograms. Their bags scream brand names so loud it gives you a headache. Now look at the person getting out of a black sedan and walking into an office building. They are wearing a simple dark blue coat, a regular gray jumper, no writing, no gold buckles. But if you get closer and touch the fabric of their coat, you will feel the difference. It's not synthetic. It's pure cashmere. In 2026, a status inversion has occurred. Logomania, the disease we suffered from for the last 10 years, is officially dead. A huge logo on the chest is no longer a sign of wealth. It is a sign that you are trying very hard to appear wealthy. It is a tax on insecurity. When you buy a $500 t-shirt with a brand logo, you aren't paying for the quality of the cotton. The cotton there is exactly the same as in mass market stores. You are paying for the right to work as a free living billboard. You are paying a corporation to advertise it to other people who also have no money. It is a vicious circle of absurdity. It has been replaced by so-called quiet luxury, the trend for unbranded items. Sounds reasonable, right? It would seem we defeated the system, but don't rejoice just yet. Marketers are smart people. They saw this trend and turned it into a new trap. Walk into a boutique today. You will see a simple white tank top, no prints, no logos. But look at the price tag, $300. Why? Because it's a curated basic wardrobe. Now they aren't selling us a brand, they are selling us the aesthetic of minimalism, and this emptiness costs more than a loud print. The secret you need to know is written on the small sewn-in tag inside the clothes, where the composition is. This is the only place where the law forbids lying. In 2026, real value is the material. Linen that cools in the heat, wool that warms even when wet, silk that breathes. If the label says 100% polyester and the item costs as much as an airplane wing just because of a designer's name, it is trash. It is a plastic bag sewn into the shape of a dress. Stop looking at brands. Start looking at seams. Are threads sticking out? Does the pattern match at the joints? Is it natural fabric? A quality item with no name will last you 10 years. Branded synthetics will lose their look after the third wash. Clothes should protect and adorn you, not serve as a statement of your solvency. But if clothes at least have a physical form, you can touch them, wear them, sell them. The next category of spending on our list doesn't exist in the material world at all. It is invisible. It is weightless. But every month it reaches into your wallet with Swiss watch precision and takes what is its own. And the scariest part, you probably don't even know exactly how much you owe it. Remember the time when you bought a movie? You paid $20, got a box with a disc, and that movie belonged to you forever. You could lend it to a friend, you could sell it, you could watch it 10 years later, even if the internet ceased to exist. Today, the very concept of ownership in the digital world has vanished. We have turned into digital tenants, and our landlord is the greediest landlord in history. At first, it seemed convenient. One service, $10 a month, all the music in the world or all the movies. It was the deal of the century. But then the great split happened. In 2026, to watch one specific series, you need streaming service A. To watch football, streaming service B. To listen to a podcast, app C. Each of these expenses seems harmless. Marketers love the phrase, it's just the price of a cup of coffee. But let's add up these cups. $15 for movies, $10 for music, $5 for cloud storage because phone memory is intentionally made small, $12 to turn off ads on a video host, $20 for food delivery so it arrives warm, not freezing, apps for meditation, fitness, dating, office software that used to be bought once now demands tribute every month. On average, a city dweller in 2026 spends about $250 a month on subscriptions. That is $3,000 a year. Over 10 years, you will give corporations the cost of a good new car, just for access, for air. But the scariest part isn't how easy it is to subscribe. The scariest part is how hard it is to leave. Here is an experiment. Right now, try to cancel your subscription to the most popular news site or audiobook service. The buy button was huge, bright, and pulsating. The cancel button. It is hidden in the depths of the fifth submenu of account settings. It is written in gray font on a gray background. It's not called cancel, it's called change plan. These are called dark patterns, design created specifically to deceive your brain. When you finally find the exit button, they force you through 5 screens. Are you sure? What if we give you a discount? Look at what you're losing. This is psychological abuse. They are counting on you giving up at the 3rd step and deciding, fine, I'll cancel next month. But you won't cancel. This is the economy of parasitism. Companies no longer want to create a product so good that you want to buy it again. They want to build a pipe that they will bolt to your bank account and forget about. And if we have somehow resigned ourselves to digital goods, after all, servers need maintaining, the next stage of this madness crosses all moral boundaries. This business model has broken out of screens and hijacked the physical world. It has reached the device parked under your window. It used to be a symbol of freedom. Now it is a terminal for collecting money on wheels. And what automakers have done to cars in 2026 should be considered a crime. Open the hood of a car made 30 years ago. You will see metal, rubber, and engineering honesty. Engines were designed to last 500,000 kilometers. They were repairable. They were fortresses on wheels. Now look under the hood of a modern 2026 crossover. You will see an ocean of black plastic, plastic intake manifolds, plastic oil pans, turbos the size of a fist, squeezed to the limit and ready to die immediately after the warranty ends. The car has ceased to be an asset. It has become a gadget, a disposable lighter for $40,000. Look inside the cabin. Where did the buttons go? Manufacturers tell you, this is futurism, this is minimalism, it's like a spaceship. They are lying. The reason your car now has a huge tablet instead of a scattering of physical keys is exactly one thing: money. Making 30 physical buttons, wiring each one, adding relays and backlights, is expensive. Putting in one cheap Chinese screen and sewing the controls for everything from climate to windshield wipers into it is cheap. Incredibly cheap. They sold us production cost-cutting disguised as a technological breakthrough. Try turning on the windshield heater at 100 kilometers per hour through 3 submenus of a touchscreen that also lags. It's not just inconvenient, it is deadly dangerous. But they don't care. And here we reach the bottom. Subscription to hardware. Imagine, you bought a car. The seats already have heating elements sewn in. You paid for this metal and wires when you bought the car. The weight of this system uses your gas. But when you press the power button, a message lights up on the screen. Subscribe for $18 a month to activate warmth. This is not science fiction. This is the reality of 2026. They block functions of your property with software code, improved acceleration, rear-wheel steering, high-beam headlights. All of this is now DLC, downloadable content. You don't own the car, you only bought the shell. The filling is rented to you. So what to do? The answer lies in math. The depreciation graph of a new car looks like a stone falling off a cliff. The second you drive out of the dealership, you lose 20% of the money. In 3 years, almost 50%. In 2026, buying a new mid-range car is the worst financial mistake you can make. The smartest move is to find a car that is 3 to 4 years old. The first owner has already paid this insane tax on novelty. They took the depreciation hit. You get the same transport, but for half the price. We've talked about things that hit the wallet, cars, phones, and rags, but there is an industry that plays for high stakes. It doesn't just sell a product, it sells hope. Hope that you will live forever if you buy the right little jar with the right green sticker. And here the markup isn't in percentages, it is in thousands of %. Walk into any supermarket and find the section usually lit with soft green light, shelves made of raw wood, craft packaging, the words bio, organic, Eco, non-GMO on every centimeter. It smells of cardboard and quiet moral superiority. Take 2 apples, one shiny, ordinary. The other, a bit crooked, with a spot but with a green sticker. The second one costs 3 times as much. Marketing has convinced you that by buying the first one, you are poisoning yourself with chemicals, and by buying the second, you are investing in immortality. But 2026, science is relentless. Meta-analyses of thousands of studies show the nutritional value of organic products is practically identical to ordinary ones. Just as many vitamins, just as many minerals. The difference is only in the growing method. The irony is that organic farms also use pesticides. They are just of natural origin. And natural poison is still poison. Copper sulfate allowed in eco-farming is more toxic to humans than modern synthetic glyphosate. You are paying a tax on fear of complex chemical names. But if with food it's just overpaying, the supplements and additives industry is the Wild West where laws don't exist at all. We live in an era of a new religion. We no longer go to church, we go to the sports nutrition store. We seek salvation in plastic jars with beautiful labels. Omega-3, collagen, nootropics, testosterone boosters, detox complexes. Look at the back of the jar. See that tiny asterisk? And at the bottom in fine print, effectiveness not confirmed by the Food and Drug Administration. This is a legal shield. It means we can pour crushed chalk in here and nothing will happen to us. A few years ago, the New York Attorney General's office conducted a raid. They took random jars of popular vitamins from the shelves of major chains. They sent them for DNA testing. The results were shocking. There was no ginkgo biloba in the ginkgo biloba jars. There was garlic powder and rice. In ginseng capsules, they found only the DNA of houseplants and wheat. People had been swallowing dummies for years, paying $50 a month for them. Placebo is a powerful thing. If you believe a pill will make you smarter or more energetic, you really will feel an effect. But is a sugar pill worth that kind of money? Understand one simple truth. If a supplement really cured or radically changed how the body works, it would immediately be classified as a medicine and sold by prescription. Everything standing on an open shelf is either food or marketing. Health is boring. It is sleep, movement, and vegetables. It is free or cheap. But we don't need cheap, we need magic. We want to buy a solution to a problem, swallow it, and forget. And corporations know this. They know us better than we know ourselves. They have studied not just our wallets, but our brains. Right now, as you watch this video, ancient mechanisms are firing in your brain, against which you have almost no defense, and they are exactly what force you to click the buy button. We have arrived at the main question. If flagships are no different from each other, if organic is a myth and branded clothing is a waste, why do we keep carrying money to the register? We aren't stupid people. We know how to count. The answer is in your head, literally. Throughout human history, for hundreds of thousands of years, food and resources were scarce. If you saw something valuable, you had to grab it immediately. Tomorrow, it might not be there. The one who hesitated died of hunger. The one who grabbed survived and passed their genes to us. Today we live in a world of abundance, but we navigate our lives with the brain of a hunter-gatherer. Marketers know this. They have hacked our operating system. Have you noticed that waiting for a package is often more pleasant than the moment of receiving it? This is dopamine, a neurotransmitter that many mistakenly call the pleasure hormone. In reality, it is the hormone of desire, the hormone of the chase. Its job is to make you run after the prey. As soon as you click pay, the dopamine peak is passed. As soon as the courier hands you the box, the level drops to 0. The item is no longer needed by the brain. The hunt is over. You feel emptiness, and to fill it, you need a new goal, a new purchase. In 2026, artificial intelligence is playing against your caveman brain. It is an unequal fight. Algorithms know what you will want to buy even before you realize it yourself. They analyze where your gaze lingered for an extra second, how fast you scroll the feed, whether the timbre of your voice has changed. Do you think it's a coincidence that you thought about a warm jacket and an hour later saw an ad? It's not a coincidence. The algorithm calculated the weather, your spending last autumn, and the behavior of millions of people similar to you. It predicted your desire, and as soon as they have caught your attention, the dirty tricks turn on. Only 2 items left at this price. 15 people are looking at this product right now. A countdown timer ticking with red numbers. Do you know what that is? In 99% of cases, it is just a script, a line of code. There are no other buyers. The timer will update if you refresh the page, but your ancient brain sees this and screams, scarcity, competition, grab it or lose it. Cortisol spikes. Rational thinking turns off. You enter your card details with shaking hands. By the way, about cards, have you noticed how the pain of payment has disappeared? Previously, to spend $100, you had to take out bills, count them, give them to the cashier. You physically felt the loss. This activated the same zones of the brain as physical pain. Now, a double click of the side button, face scan, a pleasant ding sound, a check mark on the screen. You don't feel like you gave anything away. You only feel the acquisition. Money has become an abstraction, numbers on a server that have no weight. We are children with credit cards, locked in a casino where there are no clocks or windows. The chances of winning this game are 0. The system is designed to drain everything out of you. But this system has a vulnerability, one simple bug in the code of the human psyche that we can use to our advantage. There is a tool that instantly sobers up the brain and returns control. It is not a complex app, and it is absolutely free. It is a rule that will save your future. The instruction is extremely simple. The next time you see an item costing more than $50 and feel that itch in your fingers, stop. Take a deep breath. Put the item in the cart, but do not pay. Close the browser tab, set a timer on your phone for exactly 24 hours, and go about your business. What will happen in those 24 hours? A biological miracle. The dopamine level will drop. The chemical fog in your head will clear. The brain's emotional system will cool down, and control will return to the rational part, the prefrontal cortex. When the alarm rings tomorrow, open the cart again. I guarantee you, in 8 out of 10 cases, you will look at that product and ask yourself, why did I even need this? You will simply close the page, and in that moment, you will have earned that money. For large purchases, a new phone, a car, expensive tech, use the 30-day rule. Write the desire down in your notes. If after a month you are still thinking about this thing every day, buy it. But most likely, in a month, you won't even remember making that note. And here is one more mental technique that works flawlessly. Stop seeing prices in currency. Start seeing them in hours of your life. If you earn $20 an hour, then a new flagship phone doesn't cost $1,000. It costs 50 hours of your life. That's a whole work week that you will sit in a stuffy office answering calls and emails you hate. Look at that phone. Are you ready to exchange 50 hours of your only unrecoverable time for a piece of glass that will be obsolete in a year? Are you ready to give a week of life for a logo on a bag, for a subscription you don't watch? In 2026, true rebellion isn't going out onto the street with a sign. True rebellion is minimalism. That doesn't mean living in an empty room with one chair. It means surrounding yourself only with those things that bring real benefit or sincere joy. It means refusing to play a game where the rules are written against you. Corporations spend billions to make you feel incomplete without their product. They sell you the solution to problems they created themselves. But you have a superpower, the word no to a new phone while the old one works, no to fast fashion, no to magic pills, no to imposed status. The most expensive thing in the world you can buy is your freedom. Freedom from debt, freedom from junk, freedom from other people's opinions. And this freedom begins with one simple thought. You already have enough. You already have everything you need. Thank you for spending your time watching my video. I hope this was the best investment of your day. See you in the next video.